According to the Washington Post, millions of families are at risk of eviction. Countless thousands of others have had to file bankruptcies or endure foreclosures. I've been poring through newspapers ever since May of 2021 in hopes of finding word of programs that can help me. My searches have been unsuccessful because story after story, article after article have for the most part told a one-sided account. $46 billion worth of programs have risen to be the champion of certain people affected by this crisis. The Tenant. I have rarely found anything in mainstream media that conveyed my side of the story. I am the small landlord. I haven't received rent for my property since March of 2020. The newspapers say it's because of the pandemic. I say it's due to a select group of people who have chosen to use what is happening in the world to get over on people like me. This is my story. Hold on, we might have to do a retake. Okay. So yeah, because I'm a prosecutor. Hold on, y'all. I got Corinne on the phone, so I'm letting her know. Nope. Ooh. Hold on. All right, I'm leaving my house now, and I'm running late. Okay, so I thought I was going to be able to stop and get some breakfast. No, I'm not. All right, I need to hurry up. Leave. All right, so as the type of prosecutor I am, I was preparing my case yesterday. So I got everything together around 9 p.m. last night. And then around 9 p.m. last night, I was like, okay, girl, you going to court by yourself tomorrow? Then I was like, wait a minute. What if they try to jump you? Who going to call 911? Who gonna run and get help? Are you even gonna have heels on? Like, what you doing? So, I said, okay, who can I call? Because Corinne decided to go out of town. And I know she heavy-handed. You would have been a great asset on the court defense team. So, I was like, let me call Gwen. So I called Gwen. And Gwen was like, all of a sudden, she gotta go to work. All of a sudden, ain't nobody gonna be at work but her. But I've been to her job. There's tons of people there. I'm like, girl, you can call and tell them you don't feel well, because I don't want to say you sick, because no. But she could not feel well because mentally I'm going to court, and therefore she shouldn't feel well about that, right? And so, but she didn't agree. She really had to be there. She didn't understand why I ain't tell her sooner. And I'm like, I don't know why I ain't tell anybody sooner, because, the inspiration that I might get jumped or something didn't hit me till 9 p.m. What was I to do? All was well before then. So, it's like 10 p.m. now. And, I was like, who can I call? So, we already know who's up at midnight every night because they don't want to get up early in the morning. Yeah. Our girls, Carla and Donna Maria. So I called Carla. Because in my mind, I'm like, well, let me not say that. I was going to say, she go to everybody's funeral, so why not go to my court case? So, no, but I didn't even have to go there because I was going to go there with her. Like, girl, you go to all the funerals. No, but she was like, she'll go. Oh, I might have to call her and see if she can meet me. Let me put in this other address, because I totally underestimated my time. All right, so if I go straight to the courthouse, I'm going to be there at 8:30. Whoa, 8:38. But yeah, girl, so that's what it is. Put all of the good energy out there. I know you already been doing it. Yeah, we would like to have this situation resolved so that we can move to the next step. And the next step would be her getting her date to move out by. And then her actually moving out by that date. But even if she doesn't move out by that date and she wants the sheriff to come and escort her out, cool. More footage for us. The decision is in her hands. What does she want? What does she want? I'm cool either way. and all is well. Nobody's gonna jump me today. I'm gonna have, you know, as a lawyer, I'm bringing my witness. So, you know, she's not my number one star witness. The number one star witness would have been the property manager. But at least she's going to be a witness, to be a special guest on this channel to tell the story of what went down. So we can have two perspectives.
Oh, you mean the star witness of what's going on today, not what happened up until now?
No, today, boo. Today. I'm a lawyer. I bring witnesses, okay? Girl, I just passed a whole cop. Ooh, good thing he feeling generous. All right, y'all. All right, so today is the day that we are going to court to see what happens. How do I feel? I feel good. I don't feel nervous. I don't feel anxious. I do feel that I'm running a tad bit later than I would like because I thought I was going to have time to go through somebody's drive-through and get something to eat, which is actually a good sign, a sign that I even feel like I can eat, you know, like I don't feel no ways tired. So I feel pretty good. But the only thing I did do was underestimate the time that it was going to take to get out of here. So I left my house around 7 a.m. this morning, and according to my nav, I am not going to get there till 8:30 a.m. and my court is at 9 a.m. I am the type of person, I like being early. I do not like running late. I like being early so that I can navigate the course, figure out what I need to figure out, be where I need to be. Oh, this is my mother calling. Ooh, bitch, slow down, because that's also a cop. These cops been out here today. Let me answer this. Hey, Mom.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Look, I was at work till 9 p.m. last night, getting my case together.
Oh, wow. But you got it together.
Well, I was printing out everything. I printed out all my phone records since March of 2020. Because I was like, you know, as a prosecutor, I have to think about what the defense may try to say. You know what I'm saying?
Now it's over. But there was giving like a way stimulus check, and she could have said, "Here, let me take 100 out of that."
Girl, all of like I said, she ain't even bothered to try to send me $20. Yeah. She ain't bothered to try to send nothing. Yeah. So look, Mom, I printed out all of the phone records because I said in case she tried to act like she was being harassed. I counted out all the phone calls from March of 2020 till now. 18 calls took place between me and her. 4 was her calling me, and then 14 was me calling her. Of the 14 of me calling her, 9 of them she didn't answer. I printed out all my bank records because that bank account for the rental has its own bank account, and it was never commingled. The funds were never commingled with nothing else. You know what I mean? Cool. So
you got it all together. You got it all together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I printed out all of that to show, you know, I printed from January to show this is how it looked when she was paying. And then in March she stopped, so you can see when Section 8 paid, then you see when I'm adding money to the bank account. And then you see the mortgage come out. That's all you ever see from that bank account. Us putting money in, and then the mortgage being paid from that bank account. And then I also pulled up my property statements to show that I am paying this mortgage. Like it's not in forbearance. You know what I mean? Like yeah. So I print out all of that. Then of course I printed out all the documents like the lease, the addendums from Section 8. Each time her rent went up over the year of COVID because, you know, they're looking at her income. The time that they even moved her rent to $1,400 at one point because her adult son was living with her and had a job, and they looked at his income too. And then, of course, when that happened, that's when she went back and was like, "Oh, he moved out because he tried to fight me." Is that true? We don't even know if that's true.
Right. Or when they claim they have COVID, we don't even know that's true.
Exactly. And then I even show like inspection dates, but yet she had them canceled, you know.
Yeah.
I show how even when the roof collapsed, even though it was during COVID, she sent me pictures and proof of it. So therefore, when the stove issue happened, there was no proof that the stove was broke. And with COVID, I couldn't get in there. And then even when I tried to get in there, she kept not being available.
Right, yep.
So all of that. And then the last time that the stove was so-called broke, remember, I went over there and we cleaned the stove and it worked. Because I created a whole timeline of events to show, like, this is when we went over there, this is when the property manager went over there, all of that. And all of the trying to work with her. You know what I mean? I even put in from the people I found to help her when she refused to help. The point is to show how hard I tried. Like, even in those text messages, me saying, let's work something out. Trying to work something out. If we can't work something out, I'm going to have to take you to court. You know, just all of that stuff. So so she needs to go, like, give her the shortest amount of time to get out my house as possible, because I gave her 30 days. You know what I mean? When I didn't even have to.
Well, I wish you all the luck, and just let me know, girl. I wish I could have been there.
I know. And that's what I said. I was like, there's no telling who she might be trying to bring as a witness or what, you know, lying, obviously. Because first of all, ain't nobody supposed to be in that place, and you got a dog. Then we get to see, how did she leave? You know what I mean? Like, did she try to destroy the property? Like, what did she do? We get to figure all that out. But I'm not worried about it, that's for sure. One thing, I mean, my blessings can't be stopped. So I'm not worried. And the only thing she managed to do was block her own blessings.
Hey, everybody. Does that help?
Maybe. Y'all, we got Carla with us. Yes, she prayed for us this morning.
Girl, yes, for all the protection and all the favor in this court today.
So you mean you're not here to go run for help?
No, not at all. I had actually charged up my little taser thing. I left it at the house. I'm like, God, you are protection.
Because you wouldn't have been able to bring it into court.
Like, did I get arrested trying to get in court with you? No, we're not doing that today.
Right.
I was like, you're going to court, sweetie. Put that back. Okay.
And y'all been hearing me talk all morning. Look what she bought me from her house in tea. Remember, I was like, I had wanted to go do a drive-thru because I wanted to get something to drink and stuff. And then I was like, I ain't got time. And look, I didn't even talk to Carla. And this is what her spirit did for me.
Yes, Mama, yes.
So yeah. But so we are on our way. It is 9:25, so we are making good time. We're gonna be there at 8:38 according to this now.
Yeah.
And court is at 9 in courtroom 2. If y'all want to come on.
Oh, y'all are gonna be there.
Come on.
Even if y'all not there, y'all be there afterwards. Y'all gonna be part of this. Y'all been on this journey with us.
Yes. I'm like, girl. So I was. Y'all, we are back in the car. We are back in. Good thing I brought my expert with me, my expert witness, because this is her hood. She knows. She knows how to get me here with the back streets and where I can go get a money order. All right, so guys, woo, that was confusing, wasn't it? It was a little confusing because I was called first, so that was good because there was a whole bunch of names on the docket, especially a lot of apartment-looking buildings, like corporations. And so they called me first, and so I went up there, and she wasn't there. And the judge read that she requested a motion to be moved because she's experiencing COVID symptoms.
You're right.
Because first of all, if you have COVID, submit that to the court and show that you have COVID. But I said to the judge, I said, this is what she keeps doing. And he asked me, when was the last time she did it? And I said, July 24th, because I got my little statement of events. Yep. July 24th, she did it when we were supposed to do an inspection. She claimed she was having COVID symptoms. So he said, well, because she keeps doing this, I'm going to dismiss her claim for to have it delayed. And so he went ahead and he asked me why was I there, and I said she hadn't paid rent since March of 2020. But he was saying that wasn't that wasn't part of breach of lease. Right.
So your verbiage had to be in accordance to what you had filed for.
Yeah, but I had that in the thing. I wrote that in my breach of lease. They hadn't paid rent, so I thought that would be a breach of lease. But I said, and also she has a dog in the property that she's not supposed to have. And I said, and I told her, I gave her notice to vacate the property by July 31st. And I said, because I didn't want to have to go through the courts or do eviction. And she told me to just take her to the court. She's not leaving. Right. And so he granted me possession of property. So I said, what that mean? And he said, I can't give you legal advice. And I'm like, okay, thank you. I'm like, what the heck?
We didn't know what he was talking about. So now what we do?
We in a court. If anybody knows, somebody in this court has to know. So I went to the clerk's office on the first floor and started asking questions like, this is what he said. Now, first of all, when you get your ruling, that's the other part. You, like, I was like, do they mail it to you?
Right.
Because I'm supposed to remember what he said, you know. And so I asked the clerk, do they mail me my ruling? And she said no.
Right.
The only way to get the ruling, you can't even get it online, is to come back to this courthouse later
to the records
department and pull it up there.
So again, if you had just left and tried to figure all this out outside of there,
it would have been so much.
To come back, or I could have come back on your behalf, but still, it's good to ask the questions if you don't know.
But it would have been a delay because I would have been home trying to figure it out.
And it's better to have a human being there answering those questions.
Yeah, so she did say that, like, for instance, Carla can come back and pull it up for me.
Yep.
And I can even call her, and she wrote down the court number, and she can have it printed and waiting for us. And so that was really cool. And I was like, so I said, let's run this by her. He ruled possession in my favor.
Yeah.
What does that mean? And so she was kind of like, she really couldn't tell us, but she said, I can give you these papers.
Yeah.
And so with the papers, that was a sample paper, and then the form to actually fill out. And she said she recommends that if this is my first time doing it, to fill it out now, because that way if there's mistakes, they can help correct it.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Because then it delays it even more, right?
Yeah, because the first time I was filling it out, they was rejecting it. And it would take about a day to get a rejection.
Oh, wow.
So, what?
No, wow, it took a day to get a rejection.
Oh, when you said, oh, wow, you looked up, I'm like, what? Where's she at?
It's a lot going on outside the car too, y'all, but I was not wowing that. I was focused on y'all.
I'm like, where's she at? Lock the door.
Wait.
I know. But yeah, so that delays time.
Excuse me.
And so so basically we were so confused because we was like, well, if this is an eviction proceeding, why didn't we just fill for eviction?
Right.
But now as we filled out the paper, it makes so much sense, because on this paper you fill in the tenant's name, your name and address and all that good stuff. But it also asks for the court date, which would be today. This was the court date. And this was the other thing. She verified that I can fill this out immediately.
Right.
Because there was another point where she said another ruling, I have to wait 3 days before I can fill a thing.
But because of the type of ruling you have that you got today, there's no waiting period.
Yes.
For you to file the petition for warrant of restitution.
Yes. Warrant for restitution. And so on this, you have about 4 different blocks. And one of it says, the court ruled, like, to determine the amount to be, well, we didn't have a court date on the amount, but it did say the second one is what applied to me. Ordered that possession of the premises described, and you put the address, be returned to the plaintiff. That's what the ruling was. So after that ruling, you can then fill out for this petition for warrant of restitution, and this is the eviction. This is the eviction process. Like, good gracious, who knew?
Who would have known that? You wouldn't have known all of that.
We thought that eviction meant you just fill it out. Not that you had to have a ruling before the eviction.
Right.
So now we're filling this out, and now we have to go get a money order for $40. So we're on our way, because she knows where the post office is, to get a money order, a $40 money order. Who knew, y'all? And now we're going to be able to do that. We're going to be able to bring this back to the court and have this filed today.
Yep.
And still get to work by 1.
Yep.
That's our goal. I can still get to work by 11. Y'all, this was interesting, because we were like, what does that mean?
But you know, like, we knew it was going to just work out. We just kept, it was like, okay, well, this was a step, but this step's going to lead us to where we're trying to go, and every little piece is linking together.
Yep.
So don't get discouraged. Just keep pressing forward and keep asking questions. Always ask
And
questions.
I love that he denied her motion for her
that little BS
fake COVID symptoms.
Yeah.
Because again, either you got it or you don't. Stop playing. Go get a test. You can get a rapid test.
Right.
And your rapid test didn't go out this way. Your rapid test will tell you, yes, you got it. And then submit that to the court. Because if you got it, you got it.
And if this was important to you, you would know if you had COVID or not, so you could show up in court. Like if this ain't important to her because she's trying to live for free.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, like I said, she pulled this stunt before.
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to get in and inspect the house. She pulled the COVID symptoms.
Yeah.
No proof, no nothing. COVID symptoms. So I'm so happy that he just blew past that BS. And that was the other thing. The fact that I do like the fact that I wrote all that stuff in my thing about the dog.
Because you had all your facts.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, if I wouldn't have, he probably would have been like, you filled out for the wrong thing.
Right.
Maybe I would have had to fill out for failure to pay rent.
Right.
Which, you know.
And then can you do that? Then no, you got to do it so that it can be processed.
All right, y'all. We'll come back.
We'll be back
after this brief break. Boo things. Hold on, because Carla, you know, she in here thugging it out.
I'm sorry, Carla got her mask on, y'all.
No, I had the comedy show was playing.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all, we are doing this thing. So we just got back to the court. We just went back in there. And they are so on top of it. First of all, they are so helpful.
Very helpful.
In helping us navigate the system.
Yes.
When we went back in, they had the printout of the decision. So that was done and ready, and it was already here. And so it looked like the judge ruled on both of them.
Yes.
And then they told us, because I had tenant holding over and I had breach of lease. And they advised me to use the breach of lease one. They said that gets them out faster. So that was so dope. So we put the breach of lease case number down, and she said that the sheriff comes by 2 to 3 times a day
to pick up the paperwork.
And so my paperwork will be in that paperwork. And then they gave me a number to call. This is a non-emergency number, because then I can call the sheriff's department. Yeah, it was like the status of the sheriff picking up cases or whatever. And then the sheriff will call me to schedule an eviction. But first, I guess,
I'm not clapping because somebody's getting evicted, but when you deserve it and you don't pay.
Yeah. And I think, but she said the first step is they bring the thing to the judge upstairs, and then he signs off on
the paper that you filled out.
Yeah, that I filled out on that. Which what I love about that is I thought I was gonna have to come back to court again for something.
Thank goodness you don't.
You know what I mean? I thought it was gonna be another eviction date where you come and make your case for eviction.
And let me just note, it's like 10:24 when we got back in the car. So from 9 o'clock to 10:24, she was able to have her case heard, fill out additional paperwork, get a money order, come back, and now her part is done.
Navigate the confusion.
And all of that. And in an hour and 24 minutes, y'all. So sometimes it's better to show up.
Show up and ask.
Show up and ask.
Don't just leave.
Yeah.
Even though you don't even know if the right people are the right people to ask, might lead you to the right people. Because first we was like, should we talk to them lawyers? Because they had lawyers there, guys, for tenants. They have free lawyers.
Free lawyers for the
if you were a tenant.
Yeah.
You can go and
and it's like,
consult.
can we ask somebody? Because it was like, what does that mean?
Yeah, we're like, I'm confused.
But even in filling out the paperwork, stuff started clicking and falling into place. So we had a better understanding of this process.
And we have everything we need.
Yay, my chica gets her house back.
So I'm gonna just put all of this in here for now. I'm still
gonna get to work by noon, y'all. Look at that.
And I had worked an extra 3 hours yesterday, so I'm not even. Yeah, I'm not even like behind.
You're good. Well, you know that's never my story, but I'm gonna get to work.
But that's because you know why that ain't your story, because you don't want to be there anyway. She's working on her next career. Leaving me. I don't want her to leave me.
I'll never leave you now.
You know, and everything working out for her too. It's just, again, just so freaking amazing how easy all of this stuff falls into place without struggle.
At all.
Without struggle. Easy, smooth processes and transitions.
And while we're in the moment, we sit there and we're still grateful for whatever's going on because we know. They thought she was the attorney, y'all. She looked so sharp. They thought she was the attorney.
I came in there with big.
They thought I was
the prosecutor. I came in there with big prosecutor energy.
Yeah. And they
thought I was her attorney. I was like, right? And then he goes, okay, just by you saying that, now I know you're not. Sure ain't.
But I told you. So, yeah,
like, we had fun with everybody.
Yes. And they were so nice. Even the people at the front door, they have to have the mug face when you coming in. They were even cool and crazy.
My girdle was setting up all the alarms, y'all, because I got on 20 different buttons and
her little jewelry and stuff, but it was still all good, y'all.
Yep.
What
and I had my car key in my bra. Didn't even realize.
Didn't know that was setting off the alarm. But it was such a good experience. It was such a good experience. And even in the not knowing, it was still a good experience because we knew it. We just started asking and more comes to you.
So we did that. I'm so happy.
I'm so glad I was able to come with you.
I'm so happy you was a part of this journey. Thank you, girl. And she was coming to be backup, but she was no good as backup because she forgot her phone. How was she gonna call 911? You was gonna have to run. Can you run?
My backup is up there. We prayed before we got on this call, this road, so we was good.
I'm like, Carla, when's the last time you ran? Can you even run?
Girl, I would throw these sandals off and run.
Because you was gonna have to get it.
We was gonna get it.
You know, like you forgot your whole phone. You had one job.
I told you I prayed for protection,
you got your taser,
and ruling in your favor. I was like, God, we're good.
Girl, and that worked. That went through because she tried to. Because he looked like he was considering doing
because he almost looked compassionate. Oh, she has COVID symptoms. You was like, she always has COVID symptoms.
Exactly.
Like, she's done this before. He's like, oh, well,
when's the last time she did
this?
July 24th.
We don't need COVID symptoms for
the day that we were supposed to do the inspection. She came up with
conveniently had COVID symptoms. And he was like, oh, tell me more. Then he was like, oh, then we're going to deny this and we're going to proceed.
So that's all Carla right there. Because if I would have been by myself, then he probably would have been like, we're going to move this thing to another day.
Back from where you live all the way out here again for this.
But I would have.
Yeah.
I would have.
Yeah. I was like, Chica, what can we do today? We have time.
Today we got time, cuz. Yeah. And this is what I love. I want to share all these videos with you guys because I want you guys to see this motivation. Not just... And not just motivation, but evidence. Yes. And not just from me, like from
the proof.
All of us. Yep. Like, I don't believe, you know, like I wouldn't know how to get out of this parking lot if it weren't for her. But I believe
what her right was this time. She knew what the right was.
Barely.
Yep. And you're gonna go that way again.
Yeah, I just believe that this is the life that's accessible to all of us. Me, her. Oh, I can't go that way.
Oh, no, you can. I didn't see that.
Oh, wait a minute.
And you all, I'll be honest with y'all, like when I first met her, I thought this was the life afforded to her, right? And then she would be like, no, it's not just me, it's everyone. And when I started following the principles,
because a lot of people who I meet who become my friends, they always say that, oh, that's just you, that's just you.
And you can become jealous of people or start watching people like, oh, they're so lucky. No, do your work, do your own. And she does her work.
Because I don't want this all for me. I want this for the world wide.
And she shares what she knows. And it was like, oh, wait a minute, my life can be fabulous too.
Yeah. And honestly, it's like, because it's not even about a fabulous life or fabulous anything. You know what it's really about? What is it about? Being happy and being at peace.
And for me, peace is everything.
Because there's so many people not at peace. They're suffering. They're in misery, and that's what I want. I want peace,
joy, and peace
for the world. Yeah. And I just want you to know that it's all well. Like even I'm going through this whole eviction thing, but y'all, this is so fun to me. Like, we are laughing the whole way. I get to play with my girl.
Even when we came out the courtroom, we were like, what does that mean? It was kind of like, oh, let's go find out what everything becomes a journey, right?
I'm trying to ear hustle the lawyer, because remember, he was talking to a tenant.
What you doing? I'm listening. Listening for what? We don't know what they're talking about, but
I heard him. It was, he was saying the same thing with me. But theirs was holdover, and he goes, okay, let's try this. It can buy you 2 weeks. Maybe we can have you out.
But he was working with the tenant.
Yeah, that was a tenant. Yeah, and it was like, maybe they can have you out by mid-September.
But isn't that crazy how sometimes things are set up where you have people advising the people who are not paying the rent, and then the ones who are without their money that they're owed are standing there like, what just happened? Yeah. But I loved it when she said, what just happened? All of it came together within 5 minutes.
Yeah, because she's like, now what? Because basically that judge was like, I'm done with you. I'm not giving you legal advice.
I'm the judge.
I ruled. I'm done. Bye.
But you're good. Figure it out.
Exactly. Like, okay.
And she's good. We figured it out. And it's 10:30. And guess what?
Didn't even go back home. Like, in my mind, for a second there, I was like, okay, I'll go back home and try to figure it out.
So I'm like, can she fill this out today?
Yeah, Carla was ready. Yeah, she was
okay, so she can fill this out today and give you $40, right? Okay, we're going to go do that. We're doing this today. My Chica need her house back.
Yes. Yes!